This oh, Hi everyone, this is Morgan Mullen from the Coast. I'm the Arts and Entertainment Editor here, and I am back with the first live interview of the new year. Please pardon the odd lighting here. We're back to working from home at Team Coast, which means I'm being my own light crew, and I don't know how all the beauty bloggers do it. But anyway, here we go. So today I'm really excited because I'm going to be chatting with the teen R&B sensation Jody Upshaw. Introducing Jody Upshaw is no easy task. Since her early teens, she's had her shit more together than most adults ever will, present company included, frankly. She's managed to crack the code of the fame game with a steady output of glossy, bubbly R&B hits that critics love and so do fans. She's also managed to work with a really impressive resume of local scene heavyweights like Jordan and Classified, Frank Cadillac from Neon Dreams, and so many more. I first met Upshaw back in 2018 when I interviewed her alongside two other teen stars in the making for the cover of the Coast's new music issue that year. And honestly, she's more than made good on our bet that she'd hit the big time, the most recent example of which being earlier this week when Upshaw had a song from 2018 called Straight Shooter of hers that was featured on the season 2 premiere of HBO's smash hit Euphoria, which is so exciting. So we're really glad for her. We're really proud of her. And I'm going to invite her onto the call. Just one moment. Hi, Jody.
Hey,
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh, okay. I really love your lighting. What did you do? I just ring light that
I
you look like a.
hijacked my sister's setup. She has all the lighting in her room for all of her TikTok videos, so totally hijacked what she has going on here.
That's the secret. I realized about an hour ago that my top kind of matches the walls of my apartment, so now I look like a bed, but it's fine. Just say it's funny.
We're good. We're making it work with the pandemic and all the online stuff we have to do. So
Exactly. Creative resilience.
exactly.
Okay, so for those who are just joining us, my name is Morgan Mullen. I'm the Arts and Entertainment Editor here at the Coast, and I'm with the one and only R&B superstar in the making, Jody Upshaw, who had a huge week because her song was featured on the season 2 premiere of Euphoria. So I guess to start off with, obviously congratulations, but also I'd love to hear a little bit about how it felt when your song was on this huge show that I believe all the people your age are watching.
Yeah, it was unreal. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching. I was snapping away from my phone. And so then when I opened my phone, I was like, what the heck happened that I have all these missed messages and calls and snaps and everything? And I go on and I'm just scrolling to the top of my group chat, and they're just like, I thought I just heard Jody's song, and they're like, oh, well, let's go back and check. And they're like, oh my God, it's Jody's song. And then I go on everyone's Snap story, and it's all over the place, and I'm just getting messages from everyone. It was a crazy feeling.
I love it. I have to be honest with you. I called you earlier this week to say congratulations and write a short story for our website about your win. And I was surprised that all of the people your age were watching this show, because I know that Zendaya put out a statement earlier before the season came out that it was kind of, I forget what exactly the verbiage was, but I guess that there was going to be a lot of difficult content. So I was just like, oh, well, I'm glad that, it's still out there and fun for people to enjoy. But also, yeah. I remember you mentioning that you're she's a big idol of yours. So I'd love to hear a little bit about that feeling.
Yeah, obviously, anytime I hear my music anywhere, even if it's in Halifax, in my own house, that means so much to me. You don't, anything just means the world to me. Mm-hmm. So this was a big deal already. But just the fact that I grew up watching Zendaya and idolizing her on Disney Channel and wanting to be her and listening to she had the songs and she was in all the shows, and even still to this day, she is just such a powerhouse and such an inspiration. So that was just the whole thing in its own, to have someone that I grew up looking up to and being inspired by, and being a part of that. It was amazing.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, good for you. We've had more heart explosions on this Instagram so far than I've ever the other one I've ever done.
I know, I'm trying to read the comments, but
And for all those people just joining us, my name is Morgan, Arts and Entertainment Editor at The Coast, and I'm here talking with Jody Upshaw, R&B star from Halifax. And I'm wondering too, okay, so one thing that struck me right away about this song Straight Shooter that was on the show is a track from 2018, so it's a couple years old. And when we were talking about this the other day, I was saying how like it reminds me a little bit of like a localized version of Lizzo, who, you know, had the song Truth Hurts, and then it had this kind of long tail on it. It took 2 or 3 years for that song to take off, and then it popped off, and we're gonna try and manifest the same for you. But I'd love to kind of hear how this feels for kind of a sleeper hit to blow up like that, and if it's gonna change anything in regards to future releases for you.
Yeah, so I released the song in 2018. We did a great video for it. But obviously, I kind of thought that I had written that wave out. So it was just interesting. I still perform it like at every set, and it's usually like a fan favorite, and like the choreo and everything is great for it. But just in terms of like the amount of views and streams I've got for it so far, like obviously I considered that I had written that wave out. And 2018 seems like a century ago for me. Like I don't even remember what I was like at that time, right? Life is so different. But it was really cool and really special because I went to go check out the streams from that song recently, and they've gone up a bunch because it was placed on EUPHORIA's like official Spotify playlist.
Right.
And then I went to go head over to the YouTube video, and like the views went up a bunch on it, and there was like a comment that was like, did anyone come here from like EUPHORIA? And so that's just amazing that it brought life to an older song, and it's reassuring that like if things aren't always like, you know, you just got to keep working at it, and you never know when you're going to get something positive out of it. So just kind of put your creative art out there, and you just kind of got to wish for the best sometimes. But yeah.
I think too, like in the world of social media is so instant gratification that it's nice, you know, like 2018, like I think especially because of the pandemic feels so long ago, because anything, at least for me, anything pre-pandemic feels like a different life or something. I don't know. But anyways,
yeah.
Of like if you keep being consistent and you do good work, it matters and it will be found, which is really wonderful. Oh my God, someone is asking if Zendaya is coming to Halifax. We have no idea, but we can all cross our fingers and toes together as a group.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so changing lanes a little bit, I'd love to hear a little bit about what you're working on now, some different exciting projects that you've either put out recently or coming out soon in the future.
Yeah, that was interesting that you mentioned how, you know, Zendaya put out the post saying like it's mature content and there's some topics that are hard to digest, which I think was fitting for what I want to step into for the next phase of my career and my artistry. You know, I started performing and recording music at like 11 and 12.
Right.
So I've always tried to have this picture perfect like bubbly image of just like that teen pop, like positive, like no, you know, nothing bad at all, like have to portray like a really good positive image for the people that are my age that are digesting what I'm putting out. And that's important to me because I do want to be a good influence. And when I'm going and visiting schools, it's important to me that my content is something that they can digest. But also, now that I'm freshly, like, well, not freshly, I'm going to be turning 19 soon. I'm 18, and it feels weird. And, you know, I want my music and my art to be a reflection of who I am. And it can still apply to everyone, but I also want to tap into more what I would go and listen to if I was going to put my playlist right now. So it's hard, and it's like, it's scary because I don't want to mess up or do something or swear, and everyone be like, Jody can't swear, Jody doesn't swear. Jody's never swear before. So it was just nice that it was placed on a show like this, and I can kind of tap into that genre and step into the more mature stages of my career, which is where I'm aiming to go with the people that I'm collaborating with recently, and the kind of music that I'm writing.
That's exciting. I also think like Zendaya could kind of provide a good roadmap for that, because I'm thinking a little bit of how like she is one of the, at least in my memory, and I could be off base here, but she's one of the Disney stars who seems to have had a really like seamless transition into more adult roles, and like
exactly
and come off the way they did with like Lindsay Lohan or something. No offense.
Yeah, it's so not easy, and it could so easily go in like the most terrible direction. So yeah, it's really important to me to do it in a good way. So this was a nice way to transition into that.
Amazing. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna go amazing. We can't wait to
Thank you.
Definitely. All right. So when we chatted on the phone the other night, when the news broke of your song being on Euphoria, you said to me a quote about how it felt not just like a personal win, but one for Halifax and one for the East Coast as well. And I would love to know why you continue to choose Halifax, why you continue to choose to make music here when, you know, it might maybe be easier to move to Toronto, or, you know, there's a bit of a, you know, that sort of thing.
100%. You know, that's always, I feel like in any artist, the back of any artist's mind who's making music here. Because the stigma around just kind of the resources here, and is there a certain level, like we can only go this far. But I've had such a positive experience with the people here, and this is where I am, and I feel like I haven't even reached the level of success that I would want to reach here before I would even consider like exporting. So I'm still working at that, and I truly believe in the amount of talent and like power with the artists I've met over the years. Like, it's absolutely insane the amount of talent that we have in the East Coast, in Nova Scotia, and Halifax. And I truly, really believe in the artists that we have here, and it's important to me to be successful here and make it work here first and foremost.
Oh, I love that. That's such a great answer. Thank you so much. All right. So we mentioned about how when you and I first met, it was me interviewing you for a new music issue a few years back. And at that point in time when we were talking, you had this quote, which I always feel weird reading quotes back to people, so I need to find a better way. But until then, I'm going to read your words to you.
Sure.
You said, once I put out my first song, I was like, I just love doing this. How could I not do this forever? And I'm curious of, how has your relationship with music kind of evolved since then? And does that quote still feel true to you?
It still feels so true to me. Like, even going like further back, like singing songs in my room, like, and I'm like, okay, well, how can I just make this my life? Like, how can I do nothing else but this? Music is so important to me, and it's literally got me through everything. I feel like genuinely without music and the experiences that I've had through music, I wouldn't not be the person that I am today whatsoever. I don't even know how she would have came to life without this. So that's so true. Like, that's as simple as I can put it. Like, when you find something that you love, like, why wouldn't you want to live off the things that you love? Like, that's going to look a little different for everybody. And for some people, like, that might be being a doctor. Like, you love helping people and you want to fix people. But for me, like, this is what I love to do, and I want to live off that and experience that as much as I can.
Oh, I love that. That's so inspiring. You started out, I think you said at 11, which is amazing, because I thought, I didn't realize that it was that young, because the earliest age I could find in my research was 14. So that's like baby.
Yeah, I went like, there's certain things. I did a lot of like cover songs and things like that, and back when I was like meeting with Neon Dreams and stuff. But I started at like Long and McQuaid and doing all the recitals and things like that. So I've always been singing. So yeah, I don't remember a time where I wasn't, and this wasn't like my whole world and didn't feel like everything to me.
I love that. If you had to give advice to someone, whether they're 11 or 77 or whatever, that wants to like kind of get into this whole music thing, what would you suggest?
I would definitely just kind of bring it back to what I was saying, like, find the things that you really love, and you want to fill your life with that as much as possible, and you don't want the other things that aren't as important to you like draining you and steering you away from those things. But the way that I honestly got started was just by making positive connections with people who I can relate to, people who also love these things as much as I do, and through that, like, that just opens so many doors for so many things, and that can be applied to more than just music as well.
Oh, I love that. I think that's so great. Jody, congratulations again on having your song on Euphoria. I think that's so wonderful. Is there anything else you would like to tell all the fine folks that are here with us on the live before we let you go?
Not really. For whoever's in here, I just wanted to thank anyone. Like, I've read every single comment, and I've tried to respond to everything, like Snapchat, Facebook, every DM. Like, I've read it all, and I've read it all like over multiple times, and I've screenshotted some of them, and it was really refreshing, and it was a great way to start the year. So I just wanted to thank everyone. If you're new to my journey or you've been here for a while, like, all the support has meant like so much, and so I'm really thankful that you reached out to me, because obviously a lot has happened since the last time we talked.
My app paused for some reason right while you were being eloquent and saying
no
something.
worries. No worries. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. I just want to thank everyone. Like the support it's been overwhelming, and it's totally not even just made my week, like made my entire year, my life, like everything. It's been awesome. So thank you.
Well, thank you, and congratulations again on this wonderful thing. And you know what? All of Halifax can't wait to see what you do next, and we know it's going to be great.
Thank you. That means so much to me.
Wonderful. Thank you again. And so everyone, this is Jody Upshaw, R&B star from Halifax, who had a song on EUPHORIA's season premiere this week. So we're really excited for her. And my name is Morgan, Arts and Entertainment Editor at The Coast. And we'll see you next time. Bye.